Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing fall DIYs. These pieces that I'm going to use all came from the Dollar Tree with the exception of my paint supplies. So I'm going to try to get either 2 of these fall themed DIYs or 3 videos put up in the next week or so. So if that's something that you're interested in, please stay tuned. There will definitely be this video and one other one, but if I get the time to make the 3rd one, then I will do that. Some of them are pretty simple pieces, and some of them I'm going to do a makeover on and make them a little bit more fall themed and farmhouse themed that goes along with my house. Do you hear that? I'm working out in my garage today because I'm doing DIY, so I apologize if you guys hear vehicles in the background, people driving on the street. Anyway, I'm going to share with you guys the pieces that I'm going to be deconstructing. The first one is this pumpkin sign. Now, this pumpkin sign came out last year, I do believe, or last year's whenever I got it anyway. And I used it just like this last year, but this year I decided to revamp it. I'm all about repurposing and changing something. If I buy something this year, I like to change it up and do something with that piece. And next year, it kind of just makes me feel like all of my decorations are not the same from year to year, and I just like repurposing things to make them look different. So I'm going to be using that. I'm also going to be using this set of 3-count metal words. Inside this package it says thankful, harvest, and welcome. So we're going to be using that. I did pick up this, I don't know if you guys can see that, hold on. I picked up this like little easel stand. You guys have all seen these, I'm sure. They do have this smaller one and they have a bigger one at Dollar Tree, so if you're on the hunt for them, mine in my store are usually like by where the picture frames are. So that's what this is, and I'm going to be needing that. I'm not really doing anything to this except for painting it, but I want to be able to use it in part of one of my DIYs that I'm getting ready to do. This here is one of the metal serving platters. It's in the oval shape. You could use it this way, mirror, mirror on the wall, or you could use it this way. I plan on using it this way and incorporating this together like so. This will be sitting on this little metal piece. That's why I wanted to show it to you. So there's that one. Then I'm going to be deconstructing this guy. Now, I got this last year as well. But I really think that I'm going to take it apart and redo it. So be on the lookout for this one as well. And then this pumpkin as well, I'm going to be taking it apart and redoing it. So those are the pieces that I'm going to be repurposing. This little guy came out this year, but I am not going to use it as this. I have a different idea that I'm going to do as a DIY with that. So everything else came out last year as far as the actual pieces go. I don't know how long this has been around, but it's been around for quite some time because I've done other DIYs with it. And for this project, I'm not sure which paints I'm going to be using, what colors yet. You will see that coming up. But these are the Waverly chalk paints in the matte finishes. Now, I prefer matte finish, and I also prefer using chalk paint when it comes to DIYs and farmhouse themes in my household. Now, if you want to, if you have a different color scape going on, they have these chalk paints at Walmart. They're like $1.97 each. They are the 2 fluid ounce ones. They really go a long way. So I have it in the shade Silver Lining, which is a light gray color. I have it in the shade White, which obviously is white. And then I do have it in the shade Elephant, which is a darker gray color. And these are the three main colors that I have in my house. I use these paints all the time. And then you might need a paintbrush or some foam brushes, which I use foam brushes because they're like $1 a pack, and I don't feel bad if I throw the brush away after I'm done. I don't take the time to rinse these out. I really just throw them away. And then I'm going to be needing or using probably this Rust-Oleum linen white chalkboard paint. So those are the things that I'm going to be using for the DIY. So if you're interested, stick around and I'll show you how to put these things together. I am just going to start by taking all of these pieces apart. Well, not all of these pieces. Obviously, I'm just taking apart this pumpkin and also this wooden sign over here as well. Both of these I got at Dollar Tree last year. They've been sitting in a box with holiday decor, and I seen them and I thought that I wanted to repurpose them and give them new life, update them and give them a place to sit in my home this year. I have in the past year created and changed my decor in my home to a farmhouse theme and a more rustic kind of farmhouse theme at that. So instead of these pieces just laying around collecting dust in a box somewhere, I thought that I would try to repurpose some of the items that I have purchased over the years and give them a new home and a new look in my house. So these were really simple to take apart. I didn't have any trouble, nothing tore on me, and they came apart nice and easy. If you didn't have any tools at all, you could probably still do this, but as you guys can see, I literally used a pair of scissors and a pair of pliers, and that was it. So I'm gonna start painting these pieces up. Now, I did spray paint the platter, and then everything else I used the brush on paint that I got at Walmart. And I have had several people ask me questions on where I get my inspiration, and I have to be completely honest, and that is I really look at Pinterest and I will just start typing in things like repurposing Dollar Tree items for fall themed and farmhouse decor, and it will bring up a plethora of ideas and different pictures of things that people have taken and repurposed and changed into something else. And I prefer to kind of look at those pictures, and then I kind of look around at what I have and just kind of make up what I feel like making up with the inspiration that I've seen on Pinterest. I don't normally like go on YouTube and like search for DIYs that way. I don't know why. I think it's just easier and quicker for me to get on Pinterest and look at some pictures rather than watch an entire video of DIY projects. So for me, this is just the way that it works out for me. Not to say that I don't watch any DIY projects on YouTube. First, I go to Pinterest instead. So I am going to let these pieces dry. I'm going to make this pumpkin here on the back side. I actually covered up that sticker. I didn't have any issues. I think I did have to paint this twice, maybe. I do believe I painted this twice with the slate gray kind of chalk paint, and then you guys will see here in a minute how I go in with the lighter gray color and kind of make this look just slightly more rustic and distressed all over the pumpkin, and it kind of hides that sticker a little bit in the back because I literally just painted over it. I am one of those DIYers who really don't fuss with the projects too much. I don't like them to look perfect. I like for them to look simple and clean and just plain because that's just the style that I have in my home. I am such a perfectionist at work and I have a lot of OCD tendencies. So whenever I am doing projects like this, I just like to bring out the simplicity of the project and make it very simple, basically. And I'm surprised that I'm like that, but I am like that. It's just the way that I do things. So as you can see here, I did go in and paint it 2 times with the gray, and then this is just a lighter gray, and I'm just kind of washing it on there, if you will, to make it look a little bit more distressed. By all means, you don't have to do this. You could totally leave the pumpkin gray. You can totally paint these in a way that's not farmhouse. If you have a beach theme going on, you can make these pumpkins white and maybe like a turquoise color. Or even if you have traditional colors going on in your house, you could paint these orange or dark brown or whichever way that you want to, depending on whatever decor that you have going on in your home. There's no right or wrong reason to this or way to do these. My way is not the best way. I mean, whenever I do these projects, I literally just go in there and start creating. I really don't mess a lot with it. I did paint this leaf, but I did not ultimately end up using it. I just didn't like the way that it looked on my pumpkins. And then there you see me trying to lighten up that burlap, but again, that didn't work real well. So I ultimately scratched that. I did not use it. So the first thing that I'm putting together here is this Dollar Tree platter. I did spray paint that platter 3 times, and I am using the metal Dollar Tree words that came out this year on this plate. I do think that this platter would look really awesome distressed, like go back through with some sandpaper, or maybe not paint it 3 times like I did. I think that it would look really lovely with some of the silver spaced out throughout there. It just so happens that I'm putting this on my Thanksgiving Day table, and I wanted it to be very bright and make a simple plain statement, which is ultimately the reason why I didn't make it look distressed. By all means, I think that making this platter look distressed would be very, very pretty, just as well as I think this is very pretty. So I am just hot gluing that down there, but again, you could probably use E6000, Gorilla Glue, any glue that you would find that would glue metal to metal would be just fine. And then I'm just reusing that raffia bow and adding it to the top there. I put it on a Dollar Tree plate stand, and it is as simple as that. You could by all means add, more bows and ribbons and things to the outside rim of this to spice it up a little bit. I just am a simple kind of gal, and it's going to be sitting in the middle of my table with a whole bunch of flowers and things around it, so I wanted it to be simple. And then here I am just taking that metal pumpkin and attaching it to the wood pumpkin. I didn't even take the time to spray paint the back of those white pumpkins because I knew that I would ultimately not be using that side. So I do have to say, because this is a galvanized pumpkin that I'm trying to attach these metal words to, it was a little bit of some finagling to get that to stay on there, because there is raises and dips inside galvanized metal. So if I had to do it over again and you're thinking about doing this project, I really do suggest maybe using E6000 and putting like a big heavy book or something on top of it and letting it dry overnight instead of using the hot glue. It would probably just save you a little bit of headache and time in the long run, because I really did struggle with getting this on here, but I finally got it on there. But like I said, I spent more time than probably what I needed to spend on that little pumpkin getting that word on there, but I got it figured out. And then I just attached the twine back to the little holes there on the side, and I have that hanging on my front door, and it actually has worked out beautifully. And then, as you guys can see, I'm pretty simple, so I don't like things to be so perfect all the time. So that metal pumpkin is kind of off slightly, but I intentionally put it that way because that's just the way that I like things. And there that is. And then this little smaller one, again, I just attached the white pumpkin to the board, and then that little burlap home piece into the center of that. And that is actually going to just sit on my shelf as decor on my farmhouse shelf that I have in my dining room. And it is simple as that. These didn't take me very long to do. They're easy, they're simple. They go with the theme of my house real well. And it is just amazing to me what you can create out of things that are already there. I didn't have to go to Hobby Lobby and buy this stuff. I just simply took an hour out of my Saturday to make a couple of these items. I hope that this has inspired you guys to get out there and repurpose some of your items and do it in a way that suits your guys' home decor. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and like this video for more.